Welcome everyone for the last Scrim review before the PCC 6 main event that we are going to have starting tomorrow, this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, all the quarterfinals. On Sunday, the semifinals and the finals. And the match I've selected here, it's a potential semifinals of this Sunday. It is Villains against the Chef. And we are going to see that in that game, despite having a very flawless early game, like one tiny mistake can completely shift the scale back to even. And then we are going to see that actually cleanly finishing a game when we're in even state is not something that simple. And that's why I selected that match, because I feel like in terms of educational purposes, it was very, very good. And also it kind of demonstrates that those two teams, they have what it takes to get to the finals, but they also have their own weaknesses that any team can exploit. And it's kind of like very, very interesting to see. So let's enjoy. So we do have Villains on the downside facing the Chef on the dust side. So on the side of Villains, of course, we still have Lober, Happy Picker, Bright, Toasty, and Laconator. Facing as the Chef when they have Kira, where they have Cold, Shea, Sneaks, Mav, and not Rebel Oasis. So two full roster. In terms of team composition, we do have a Narbash jungle lane against a Rictor Kira lane. We do have the Iggy and Scorch into the Bellica. We do have a contest jungle against a Calari jungle. Overall, I would say like the Calari have more impact in the early game than the contest. Contest can scale very well. And maybe delay some pick like the Narbash, the Iggy, the Calari. But they do have to be careful because they have a Sunk to stop that. They have an Inferno. They have a Subjugate. They do have the Gag Grenade. So a lot of thing there. It's game 2, yes indeed. And we do have to steal several lanes. So Lober is super happy. It's going to be a farm lane as he liked them. And here we have a solo frontline game with only Lober playing frontline, while Happy Picker is playing an assassin. So we do have Toasty being able like to survive a little bit, but at the same time, the enemy team have a lot of stuff to just like one-shot people that are out of position. So it should be an interesting game that can like quickly swing into anyone's favor, because like the side of the Chef, they have a lot of potential to just pick up targets that are slightly out of position. And actually, there are a lot of great targets to get picked up. So we're going to see how it goes. But the contest is going to be pretty slow at actually like entering the game normally. While the Calari can immediately like apply some pressure, especially on this Bellica mid. This Kira also on the dual lane is like a prime target for the gank from the Calari. So we will have to see, especially since probably like with Narabash Drongo, they're probably gonna get pressured back. So that means that the Rictor Kira is gonna step up, and that means that probably like the Calari can arrive and create some aggression. The Chef going like for a deep ward here onto the blue buff, facing against the Calari. So I don't think the Calari is ever starting blue. We get the ward around 50 seconds. So that means that at 2 minutes 20, it's gonna disappear. And if it disappears at 2 minutes 20, like the only information that ward give you is Calari starting blue or not, which I feel like it's not really like that interesting. To answer the question of what happened in game 1, I feel like it wasn't one-sided. It's just that I felt like game 2 and game 3 were the better one, Mercy. So that's why I selected game 2 and game 3 from the stat point of view. So we're going like a little bit early. It's interesting to see a double melee champ into the dual lane on the support role. It's not happening a lot. So we do get the Drongo, so if we want we can get like the pressure and the level 2 first. But at the same time you have to respect that the contest can be around, and suddenly like a hook into the contest ganking can be actually quite damaging. And you can see that Mav is hovering around, trying to go for the hook. Laconator and Toasty fully respecting that. Very well played. Wave is going to maybe crash. We keep the range outside, so at least we don't get like any problem. And so Cold and Shea navigating the early game with the contest being around very well so far. Bry is already out of mana at level 2, which is quite impressive, I feel like. I don't know what happened. Did he spam... every single spell like crazy. Happy Picker is looking for maybe like some aggressive damage into the mid lane, but Stinksy just retreat. And Happy Picker take a lot of poke, so that means that there is like not really like any invade, and he's actually like keep looking. And we got Mav that is actually like ganking that. But I don't agree with Mav going like for that kill on Happy Picker. Yeah, you force you force Happy Picker back, but Happy Picker walking on the right side of the map when there is nothing to farm for himself is just Happy Picker losing time. As a jungle, like just take advantage of that timing and get ahead in terms of farming. Because here, like this whole gank, yeah, you get some damage, you force Happy Picker back, but now you yourself like just like get for the mid river buff, and now you're going back to farming. And so like this whole chase by his Mav is actually generating absolutely like no advantage, and they just like get like even here in that trade, despite the fact that Happy Picker go for a very bad gank in mid lane, but he doesn't get punished by it because Mav doesn't take the right decision. Unfortunate. Let's see what happened into the dual lane. And we got like a nice hook here with the pressure, and Toasty is just looking like an hater getting hooked and die. I guess like probably like the thunk was off cooldown. They're gonna be able to crash that wave because Toasty can't like fully like stop that from crashing because the wave is pretty big. And then they should be able to get like the gold buff and then just reset, and that means that cold shake got the kill. That's a bit unfortunate, but that means that this dual lane is gonna enjoy a good time. They're not gonna lose any farm or any experience because Toasty is gonna catch it, but that means that but slightly like an hater behind cold, and you don't want to be behind cold when you're playing carry. We're getting the level 4. In terms of CS, we're a little bit of CS down, but I guess it can be like also that we don't see the contest fast enough. Lover had to go back before being able to finish the Brimstone, so that's a little bit surprising. Usually you don't want to go back before you can get your Brimstone. Lover is pushing minion to, I guess, get the Siphon on every single one of them, trying to maximize his stacking of his passive. And here we can see that we got the Kalari. Happy Picker like trying to be sneaky, but he's just like recalling inside the wall because Kalari can just like phase through matter. Not really. And here we do have the contest arriving, but nothing is going to be fine here. We're just rotating towards like the mid river buff. Sneaks is going for the right one. The contest is going to secure the left one, which means that Bry can't even get any river buff, so he will be forced back to base, which create like a little timing for the team of the side of the chef if they want to take advantage of it. But that can also like be just taken to actually like get some more pressure and keep like the farm of the contest being pretty nice and stopping Happy Picker from having any impact on the map. We see that they take advantage of that actual priority to actually rotate and try to gank the dual lane. But we get like the stun. Should be like and even if you flash here, you're dead. So they do secure another kill. Good rotation. They take advantage of the double river buff to then generate that gank on the dual lane. That was very well played by the chef, and that's a second kill on that dual lane. Taking advantage of the weak Narbash lane, because when you have Narbash, it's very, very hard to have any pressure, but it's also like kind of a ticking time bomb. Like as soon as if the Narbash go through the early game without being unfazed, suddenly the Narbash start the mid game being super duper strong, and that makes like the early like objective very hard to fight if the two teams group. And so here the chef doing a very good job of actually like applying pressure and being in reasons to that dual lane that is slightly weak and taking advantage of that Richter pickup. Here we do have Happy Picker invading a little bit, trying to get the 3 camp here. Should probably like be successful, as we can see that Matt is on the 4 camp, but at the same time like Kalari is pretty annoying to fight early on. She has a lot of burst. Contest needs to get like a few levels, but Happy Picker needs to be careful because if he gets stopped into his back, he's probably like gonna be in the world of trouble. Good passing, go invis, dodging the ward. He should be fine in that situation. But we do get the level 6 on Honorable Oasis, so actually there is maybe like some dangerous aspect, and we force the flash away from the Kalari. They do have to be careful because double colossal blow into subjugate. Very well played. We try to get the dagger. Mav used the shadow sleep back. Ooh! Because Briar was going for the rotation and they do find a secure the kill. We do use the Inferno, but not Rebel Oasis, just like bull rushing away towards his mid laner. They can't really follow that up. That's a good pick, and they do manage to get like Happy Picker out of danger and get like a kill back on the board for themselves on the side of villains. We're going for the reset here, double reset on the dual lane. Bry is coming back to dual lane, to mid lane. Lobber has to be a little bit careful because he's kind of low on HP, and we see that the Bellica is looking for something. Snick's going for the rotation, but nothing is going to be found. In the meantime, Bry could have like crashed the wave if he want to deny like as much gold and farm as he could have to the enemy mid laner. And kind of slow down a little bit the pace. Contest having like a good farm, surviving this early game pretty well. Already got one assist, so already one stack on the passive, but only one stack at the same time. It's not very like insane. You want to get like as many takedowns as you can early on to get your blue teeth passive stack up for when you enter the mid and late game. You become actually like very strong as the contest. And when you're the enemy team, you actually want to nullify that and not let that happen. Lobber actually like bullying Not Rebel Oasis quite a lot, so Not Rebel Oasis will have to be very careful. I wonder why Lobber want to crush that wave that fast. I feel like he had the wave pushing back to him. He was super healthy. He could have denied like a lot of gold and farming from his opponent, but he decided to just like go for the teal buff. And we do find again like some aggression onto the dual lane, and they just like apply a lot of pressure here. They tried to bully Shay, that was like kind of going a little bit aggressive, but actually like Shay was just like baiting. What happened there? Like the skewer was insane, but oh, what? Let's see that in slow motion. That was a beautiful skewer, but I'm kind of wondering what happened there. So first of all, like you're facing a Rictor. Like I don't like the spacing of like a nature to just like be in range of getting like skewered here. Like for me, it's just like just space yourself, and you can even space going towards the right side if you want. You see the Bellica. You have Happy Picker. Like you don't have to come close in range, like in auto attack range, to be able to deal the damage. And that's like Lekinator placement in that team fight is very bad. And then Happy Picker, like they try to burst the support, which is a Rictor that have the passive with skewer that already like get already like a steel mail plus a vitality beats plus avoid Valid Brooch. Like the Rictor is super dead per tanky. He has the skewer to survive for a long time. They just place themselves in range. Like the fact that Happy Picker get picked up by the skewer is unfortunate, but the fact that we use guillotine on the Rictor, the fact that we have Lekinator coming in range of the skewer, all of that is actually like wrong decision making. So here the skewer looks absolutely insane, but it also comes down from like wrong decision being taken by villains, and that end up in 2 kills. Cold is getting absolutely monstrous, and now that's also a Fangtus, and so now we're like 3 kill up plus a Fangtus, and also Mav getting like 2 takedown in that team fight, which means that not his passive on the contest is actually gonna start to ramp up and be pretty annoying in the later stage of the game. So we have 2 tanks eating at each other, which is a little bit unfortunate. Not much action happening. We see the contest is actually like hovering around, but Lover sees it. I don't think there is like any kill potential, to be fair. He's already having the nullifying mask. As you can see, it doesn't finish Fire Blossom, which makes sense because he's facing like a stealing lane and a contest in jungle. So going like for the physical armor doesn't bring like anything very relevant in terms of defensive stat in the early time. And we get another kill onto the dual lane. So it seems that all the action that match is going into the dual lane. What happened there? So we have Lycanator, which is like actually OKLC. Shay doesn't have a lot of mana, and they go for the hook. Very nice hook. They try to defend that. We try to go for the crash bang boom. We get like a very nice positioning, but
Enemy has been slain.
So let's see that fight again. Like the hook is nice, for sure. The thunk is not correct by Toasty, in my opinion. Because here, what you want to thunk the... Like, Shay doesn't have a lot of mana. If you look, like, Shay is very low on mana, so at best he can do a shock therapy. And we see that Lycanator still have flash, so I think it's fine. Like, what you want here is you want to thunk the... Keep your thunk to be able to thunk the Kira. That's what you want to be doing in that situation. I know it's very instinctive to just like thunk the guy that is doing the action, but the Rictor here, then you can just like simply walk forward and be able to body block. Here, I see like the idea is to actually like try to get the crash bang boom on two people, but what you want is you kind of want to space yourself up a little bit and be able to position yourself in a position that you can start hitting auto attack from cold while Toasty being in front of Lycanator, which they don't. They try to kind of do. Lycanator going into melee range of the Rictor. Like the guy is 1 HP, the Rictor has no mana. He go into melee range of a melee character with a Drongo. Here you can play like at max range while Toasty keep his position like outside. The Rictor can never auto attack, and suddenly if you play into your minion wave plus the Narbash body block plus the fact that you're getting the heal from Song of My People, there is a world they win that team fight in the end, but no, like Lycanator just go into melee range of the Rictor again. I feel like I'm eating on Lycanator, but here it's just like very bad spacing. It's just very bad spacing overall. Like this fight, they could win it on the side of villains if there is a little bit better like fundamentals here. Yeah, but I still believe like if you can get two Sunk, like the Sunk on the Rictor, the only thing that this Sunk does is cancelling the animation of the Whiplash and protecting from one auto attack. So even if you delay your Sunk for 1 second to go onto the Kira and you still get two Sunk in that team fight, it's still better. And since they weren't fighting, it doesn't have 24 stack of Song of on the passive. So I'm pretty sure it's not correct, Mr. Metzier, in that situation. If you want to actually also get like certain situation of actually like getting your Song of My People, resetting, protecting in the situation, getting it back into position, there was like a better situation. So what happened here? We have Lycanator dying again into the dual lane. And here there is like Cold. You can see like Cold is crest up, great sword, short sword up. So the guy is actually like very far ahead. And Lycanator doesn't respect that. He was close to winning that, but still like you shouldn't take a fight when you're a great sword, short sword, and a crest down.
The enemy has acted your prime.
The enemy team does secure the mini prime, however, but gonna be at what cost? So far they got Happy Picker and that's all they got, but Happy Picker was the one with the mini prime, so they removed the mini prime immediately.
Enemy has fallen. Allied towers destroyed.
And then they got double kill. Mini prime has been removed, so they do secure the objective, but at the same time it was pretty costly.
Unreal.
And so here we have
Allied towers destroyed.
a tier 1 tower being taken onto the off lane. After that situation, I guess they got also the tier 1 tower on the dual lane. And so like no, the chef is actually like even on CS, but they're 8 kills ahead. This contest is having like 5 takedowns, so already halfway through our passive, and they have like 2 structures up, which is like it's actually like very like here the chef is super far ahead, and having cold 5-0 and 2, it's not something you want to see. Like to be fair, the chef and NS and Bax EU, like both with cold and Nefty, like those two teams, if their carry gets rolling, like suddenly it makes every single team fight to be played afterwards super hard, and also like getting any farm for your own carry in the dual lane super hard to accomplish. But I guess like one of the take of that game is like if you're a range character, don't walk into melee range. Like what you can do with the Sunk is you can try to stun preventively before the hook appear, and that can be like a good play if you try to disengage. But once the animation has started, now the hook is gonna connect in the end. But here it wasn't a situation of pre-stunning, so. But like I do the same mistake all the time as support. Like you need to keep your CC when the Rictor connect the hook on the carry, because otherwise like you're like hooking the Rictor doesn't deny that much damage, while CCing the enemy carry actually deny a lot of damage. But let's move on. We do get the Fangtooth respawning here, and so we're trying to secure it on both teams are actually interested in it, but we see that Lobber is on the other side of the map. Lobber is probably going to go for the split push, so I guess like the chef gonna just get that for free, and we see that villains actually accept to leave that Fangtooth to try to get more on the map, and they're looking to maybe get like a little bit of pressure into the mid lane. But Cold is here to defend the mid lane, so they're gonna probably secure only a tier 1 tower onto the off lane for that Fangtooth. Overall, I would say at the advantage of the chef, because it's the second Fangtooth, which that means that now you're really under pressure to be there for the third Fangtooth. Third Fangtooth for a contest is actually transforming contest into an absolute monster, so you have to really respect that. And here we do have Lobber keeping the split push though, so at some point we need to send someone to defend. I wonder if we have actually like a cannon, so that's gonna be a lot of damage on that tier 2 tower, while in the meantime they're trying to collapse onto that Drongo, and Lyconator get absolutely obliterated here by the dive of the Mav, and also like Snakes being around. And now we have the Countess trying to look like for some more invade. The mid lane has to be careful though, because they have a Countess in their backline. Shay and Cold playing that pretty safe, not trying to create anything special here, and they're just gonna apply like a little bit pressure on the tier 1 tower in mid lane. And we do have Dry that I think wasn't expecting at all to see like 2 people in his jungle. And we do secure a kill here. Like to be fair, Sneaks and Mav were staying like for a very long time in that jungle, and I guess like Dry gets surprised here. Here, well played by the side of the chef, taking advantage of the fact that they have full pressure onto the dual lane, and that Lyconator can't get out of tower to get full control on the blue side jungle and getting a pick because of it. Happy Picker looking for a gank on the steal. I wonder if the steal is really like the best target to gank for a Kalari. Like not Rebel Oasis is just like trying to bait here as much as he can. And they try like Lobber, just like playing cats and mouse here, trying to get away. Will he get away? I think he will. It's be very close, but yeah. He do secure the disengage here. Lyconator facing against Mav. Mav unfortunately doesn't have any mana. Wow, we're at 17 minutes 30 and we still haven't finished the crest. Oof, that's painful to watch. Like 18 minutes crest for the carry, it's actually like super duper late. And so we're grouping around the... I guess the mini prime is going to respawn soon, so that's why we have like a group up of that many people.
Allied tower under attack.
Lyconator is gonna stay on to his dual lane because he needs to farm. He's a little bit too far behind, I would assume, compared to Cole. As you can see, 30 CS down. Imperator is already finished. We're getting to the next great item, while the second item is not even finished on the side of Lyconator, which means that we secure the mini prime. Mini prime is offered to Cold. So Cold is an absolute monster right now. You don't want to fight into Cold unless you have like full CC chain on him. And so you have potential, to be fair, because Cold has Liberator, true, but still you have like a Sevrog, you have a Calari, and like with a Gag Grenade and Drongo's damage, you can suddenly like make Cold disappear. But if you don't successfully do so, then suddenly you're gonna be probably dead. And we get like a lot of ultimate onto Lobber, but Lobber survives, so every single ultimate has been expanded to try to kill Lobber, and they got nothing out of it, so they have to be careful. And in the meantime, they do secure like the kill into the backline. They do secure the tower. Mav doesn't have a lot here, but Cold is still like super tanky, super strong, and you can see he's still like full health. Gonna find a pick onto Toasty, and okay, here the chef overestimating a little bit their damage, thinking they could have gone for the kill onto the Sevrog, but Lobber very good at stacking his passive, so he was probably like slightly over the top, and that almost cost them like the team fight here for the side of the chef. In the end, it's only a 1-for-1, but they still secure the tier 1 tower, and now they go back to reset, spend the gold, and they will be ready for the third Fangtus. And this third Fangtus is absolutely crucial, but it won't be easy to actually defend. The good things for them is that Cole didn't get time to go back to base yet, so they have a small window when they can get like a little bit of control in the 5v4. And they can maybe look for a pick onto someone, but the pick that you can look for is probably like the Bellica at best. Here from Sneaks like going around. Don't tell me they sending it in. I think that's the wrong call. Because even if you secure it, true, you're gonna deny the third Fangtus, but you're gonna lose everyone, and then it's an all prime, and you lose the game out of that. I feel like it's a very, very, very risky call, but they tried to go for it, so let's see how it actually like worked out. And here we're trying like to zone. We do have Notable Oasis and Mav that are here. The enemy team do secure the objective. Calari is already like out. So I guess like they just want to flash away. We got the flash. We accept to sacrifice like Lobber, but we're gonna lose Lyconator as well. And now the enemy team can just like walk towards all prime. They do have to be careful because they don't have a lot. And here, as I was telling, like you can secure the Fangtus, but probably like you're gonna fall behind when it comes to that like all prime team fight. But Happy Picker is still alive, so Happy Picker can go for a guillotine steal. That could be actually like very, very, very dangerous. And here you can see like Happy Picker is looking for that. First to guillotine away. A lot of damage is being taken. Toasty is going in, and they try to go for the steal. That's gonna be like the 50-50. They do secure it on the side of the chef. Happy Picker is being low. He's getting killed. They have to be careful of not chasing that too much. They can't fight for too long because the rest of the team is going to collapse on them. And they have to be careful because they're kind of low. And Lobber is arriving. And we get the kill onto Notable Oasis. Cold is trying to go to his bet, going deep, but we got the stun. Lyconator arriving from behind. And that's tragic. That's tragic because now they're gonna clean up everyone. And the chef almost doing like the perfect play, but unfortunately then they overstep their boundaries and they kind of big throw here by the chef. It's not really a throw because they still like ahead in that game, they're still in control, but that was the game winning move. Like here you kill the two people and then you disengage. You shouldn't have chased more because the enemy team is collapsing on you and you don't have the mana and you don't have the health to fight that. Just disengage, the enemy team can't chase you because you're still like with all prime. You have all prime on 4 people, and true, you didn't get a third Fangtus, but you have all prime on 4 people, you're ahead, you win the game, GG, Nora. The problem here is like lose both the triple Fengtus and the R prime timing on the moment you were the strongest in that game. And so that's unfortunate, but now there is like a window for the side of villains to scale, and maybe I have a shot of coming back into that game. But let's see how it goes. And also, like it was said, like Hunter getting like a lot of gold back, and now you can see that despite the 2-7 and 1 and the 7-1 and 4, we're not kind of even on itemization. So like here, like Hunter fully coming back into that game when he was like absolutely like having like no presence at all. So here, there is no objective to be taken on the map because both Fengtus and R Prime has been removed. So we see that the chef is trying to apply some pressure, getting some tier 2 tower, maybe getting some more gold for their team. Do have to be careful because there is a lot of poke from the Kalari, the Drongo, and the thing. The Sevrog is pretty big also at finding an engage. They also have to be careful because any counter engage, if a hook connects, suddenly that's a squishy dead every single time because into Bellica Seismic Assault and then the damage of cold, the person is not going to survive that.
Allied towers destroyed.
So they managed to destroy the tower, the tier 2 tower on the right side because with the slow push, so that's very well played by villains. Here we get the hook. Once again, we try to go a little bit on Lobber, but this time we don't overcommit in terms of resources. Well played, because there is no kill potential. Mav is a little bit out of position, but it's just Shadow Sleep away. And then there is nothing. Cold is trying like to find like some aggression, trying to bait. He's a little bit like frontlining. Cold is a little bit bad, and suddenly we lose Mav. The chef not taking a good engagement, and suddenly we force the flash away from Shay. Cold is at 1 HP. Snicks, they tried to force a 5v4. And to be fair, like the fight was possible because Lobber was kind of low, Happy Picker was kind of low, but you don't frontline as Kira. Like you can't frontline as Kira against like a Nigi, a Drongo, and a Kalari. It's not gonna happen. And so here, Cold basically killing Mav in that situation and losing precious pressure around this Primal Fengtus. So they have to be careful, the chef, because they were super ahead, but they kind of offer a big swing in return, and suddenly it may be like not that simple to actually like fully win that game anymore. Like here, like definitely villains have a shot at that game, and Cold have to be careful because once again Cold was the front line of his team, and here the enemy team is just like falling forward. Lyconator taking a lot of damage. They're still like going hard onto Cold into the backline. Very, very good play by the Bellica, like fully stopping everyone from everything from happening. Happy Picker is now out of position. We do get the skewer, but Guillotine away. Lobber is alone, forcing the Colossal Blow away. Lyconator is arriving finally, got healed up, and finally get the pick. Here we can see like the gold that's been spent by Lyconator actually like paying dividend. And the team fight is a 1-4-0 so far. Not Triple Oasis, I'm not sure what you're doing. Just like staying there, not going behind the pillar and just getting killed. Suddenly we get the sunk, and now Lyconator is just like killing the whole team fight. Once again, Sneak's doing like a good like seismic assault, but it's gonna be like everyone dying. And that's the Primal Fengtus for the enemy team. They lose 5 without killing anyone. Yeah, Cold playing frontline again. 2 team fights in a row. That can't happen. Like, you have a steal, you have a Rictor, let them get the information. And villains manage to scale, indeed. They do have the Narabash now. It's still like playable in terms of scaling because they also have a contest, they do have the Kira. They're both picked that scale very, very, very well, but at the same time here, it's just like team fight positioning that the chef are actually like not doing correctly. And so now that's Primal Fengtus before the R-Prime respawn. Primal Fengtus on 5 people. Still a lot of gold being gained on the side of villains. And like if the chef took one more bad engagement, they're out of that game. And here, the problem is like they have absolutely no sustain, while the enemy team has a Calari dagger to poke, Old Rusty to poke, Molotov to poke, Sevrog that can just like tank 5 people with applying Primal on everyone. Like this fight and this moment is so hard to play for the side of the chef here. Against a Primal Fanctus, it's gonna be like super rough. And here we do have Lobber trying to poke because they also have no way of sustaining themselves. And so here Lobber doesn't care. Lobber is just like going to try to bait everyone on them. And here they fight that on the side of the chef, they're just gonna lose. Like this Richter is already dead. This Richter can't get away. Toasty is going to survive. They got the pick. And that's a big pick. While like Toasty can just like heal back up with his heal all his team. And here we have Mav dropping, trying to get the pick, and he do find the pick on Toasty. Lekinator being 1 HP. Here we can see like the absolute like monster that the chef can be, like with the mechanical skill, trying to find the entry here in that situation, which is very well played. But Cole and Sneak weren't like fully that confident, and we can see that Happy and Bry are staying alive, and in the end they lose 3. It's I feel like Toasty going a little bit too deep in the previous engagement. That's why it was like that low. I don't think they needed Toasty to frontline as the Narbash. It was not needed. But still, overall, worked out well for villains. Cold is trying to go for the play. He's actually like having a lot of people that are very low. He's getting Bry, forced to go away, trying to dash, but Lekinator can just flash in, get the shrapnel cannon, and they trade 1-for-1. In that situation, trading 1-for-1 is actually worth it for the side of the chef because they remove the R prime on another person. So no R prime on the side of Bride, no R prime on the side of Toasty, so only R prime on 3 people. Lekinator needs to be careful to not get picked up because otherwise that would be like a very huge blow. They try to go for the stun doesn't connect, unfortunately. If the stun connect, Lekinator could have been dead. To be fair, I don't know how Lekinator is still in that position in that moment. You should never risk it ever in that moment because you really want to have that R prime on Lekinator. And you don't need like the 10 gold that you get for like staying there and getting one more wave. Also, like because you stay that long, now you have to go back, so like the push is delay, all of that. I'm not a big fan of that play overall, but in the end it didn't matter. And here we got like the combo, Toasty arriving. We don't have enough damage. We already removed the contest. To be fair, wave are pushed well enough that contest should be back up for the defense of inhibitor, even though that means that maybe like 1 or 2 wave the contest won't be there. Lobber, 3 level up from not triple resist actually, and just like split pushing like crazy with the R prime. Like this Sevrog is gonna be like such a nuisance for so long. They don't have any way to deal with it, and they need to find like picks into the backline while ignoring kind of Lobber in a sense. So like the clear of minion is a little bit too hard. Like this inhibitor is going to fall. Like Richter plus Steel are going to have like big trouble of actually clearing that. That means that they have nobody in the mid lane. They're waiting for contest to come back, but that means that they already lose like 1 inhibitor. The inhibitor on the right is gonna be almost impossible to defend, and so they have to find like an engagement on this left side of the map, because if both inhibitor down, that means that the third is going to go down, and now they have a window. They try to go for it with Shay going for the hook, but not good enough. Let's see if in that situation, double inhibitor down, third inhibitor ready to go down, all prime on 3 people, very good team fight comp. Does Villains manage to finish the game? So we get the Colossal Blow, we get the Steel is dead. So we find the pick, 60 second, triple wave pouring into the base, still all prime on 3 people. We use the Crash Bang Boom, we try to force that, but we get Hook. Toasty frontlining is a Narbash, you shouldn't frontline as a Narbash. And we lose 2 people. And we're trying to find the kill here. Sneaks is trying to survive as much as he can. how do we don't finish the game? Maybe we are going to finish it. I don't know. It's 2 against 2 now. They can't finish anymore, I guess, because Cold is a bit too big. Shay, if you go for the hook on Lobber, that's probably like a kill. I don't know what Lobber was expecting, and yeah. 3 inhibitors down, all Prime on 3 people, a pick secured, 5v4 situation with the better teamfight comp, with a Narbash that heals all Prime minion, and villains don't finish the game. Like, at this point, it has to be a meme. Like, how is that possible that even with all of that, we still don't finish the game? It's absolutely crazy to me. But let's see how the game fare. Like here we only have 1 minute left on the clock. Happy Picker is going like for a little bit of a split push, but he's just recalling here. Primal Fangtooth is apparently like back up. We do have Lobber that is still like kind of dead. They tried to force it before Lobber arrived, but I think it's kind of risky. Like it's only 3 people against like 4 people. Or only 3 because Happy Picker was on the right side, but it's a 3v3 against like it's gonna be like scuffed. They try to go for the hook. The hook doesn't connect on Toasty. Now they took a lot of damage. That's the problem of like the comp on the side of the chef, is they don't have any sustain against like the heavy poke that the side of villains can actually do. They try to go on Toasty. Toasty has to be careful. You get like a very nice combo. They gonna probably like clean up everyone. They already get 2 pick, 3 pick, and that should be like game Inferno to knock back people. Unfortunately, they tried to go for a play on the side of the chef. Didn't work out. And finally, like I guess 3 inhibitor down, all 5 members of the enemy team down, villains will finally be able to secure the game. So the chef playing the early game very, very well. It was like perfect until the moment that, until they got the All Prime, it was perfect. The fight after the All Prime was still perfect until they started to chase. Then it was a huge gold swing, and then like they were still ahead, but Cole decided to frontline 2 times in a row with the Kira. As a carry, you don't frontline. You never frontline. That's just like let your Steel and Rictor frontline for you. Otherwise, bad stuff is going to happen, and bad stuff is going to happen. And despite the fact that then Villains was so far ahead, they still had trouble to finish that game. Like it's still like crazy how like they can't finish game properly, which is absolutely insane to me. But in the end, they secure the game. But that definitely shows that the chef has what it takes to beat villains. But it's exactly what I was saying also with like the chef is sometimes they're a bit coin flippy because sometimes they look fantastic and then they do big throw for no reason. And this is one of those match, a very great match to be fair to watch those 2 teams because it kind of highlights both of the weakness of both teams. I also like feel like Lekinator spacing in the dual lane from like the multiple match we've been watching has been like kind of lackluster. I don't know if it was like specific on the day or if it's something that is making mistake regularly, but that's something they need to fix for this Saturday. And yeah, overall, in the end, victory by villains, but it was a tough call.